Hey now, fans of the Star Wars Time Show, Matt Haywood here, and holy hell am I trying to compose myself after checking out the first teaser trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi coming to Disney Plus on May 25. Woo! I mean, come on, we got Ewan in there, we got some of those John Williams motifs, like the Duel of Fates, the Force theme. Like I said, I'm a little... got to get composed here to do this little breakdown. So that's what we're here to do. We're going to do it freewheeling, spitballing, no notes, no nothing. So we're just going to go through scene by scene, break them down, and I would like to add that it could get a little spoilery because I am going to try to take the leaks we've been talking about on the show and infuse them into this breakdown, either confirming them, denying them, or further fleshing out some of the leaked content we have talked about. So if that's stuff you don't really want to hear about, or just other general plot speculations I'll be pulling out of my wazoo as I break down this trailer, you may want to pass. But I would love for you to check out the breakdown because it's not like many people watch our content anyways. So let's get right to it. And again, last warning, I am going to infuse some of the knowledge we have and that we've speculated on from some of the leaks, so be prepared. But you should also be excited because this series looks freaking awesome. Alright, so things open up with a nice sprawling shot of the Tatooine desert and our man, Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, chilling with his Opie. Alright, we then see him travel to some sort of town, more than likely Mos Eisley. I'm not sure if this is going to be the moment where he's kind of in town and the Larses are in town, then the Inquisitors show up, and all that stuff kind of plays out to where Owen watches the Inquisitors brutalizing the townspeople, which in turn is going to make him kind of a little upset with Kenobi and feeling like Kenobi is getting Luke in more danger than helping him just by being on planet. But either way, it looks like he goes about his daily business, hanging out with the locals. Another shot of the market. Like I said, I'm not sure if this is the particular market scene that we've talked about on the show, in which the Inquisitors will be there, shaking down the denizens of Mos Eisley. But this is definitely probably going to be the same market, even if Kenobi is here just on a standard errand run. You know, maybe he had to go pick up some blue milk, some spice, gets lonely in those caves, you never know. But as we see these scenes, we get to hear some dialogue from Obi-Wan himself, especially as he's riding back to his cave town home, in which he says, "The fight is done. Lost. Stay hidden." And I'm thinking those are the lines that he will be delivering to this new Jedi character we've been talking about via Making Star Wars leaks, who is named Nari. So if you remember, Nari kind of is on Tatooine. He senses Kenobi's there. He's been looking for him since the fall of the Jedi Order. Finds him, but Kenobi kind of plays dumb. Like, I'm not Kenobi, my name's Ben. But he eventually comes to him and he's like, "Listen, man, we lost. Your best bet is to hide." So I think that dialogue is definitely being spoken to Nari. Alright, so the next scene here, we get to see that Obi-Wan's cave mansion is very close to the Lars family farm. I didn't know how they would kind of position it, but I mean, obviously it's probably a couple miles away, but he can still just pop out of his front cave door and kind of keep tabs on the farm, which we see him doing in the next few scenes with his macro binoculars. You know, there they are, checking them out. There's Owen and Beru. They're not on fire yet. It's good to see him in the flesh again. But I think one of the biggest surprises of this trailer is they went right to a Luke shot. And sure enough, there he is. Are those Anakin's pod racing goggles? Did Shmi bring them to the Lars homestead when she hooked up with Klieg? I would like to think so. I mean, how that could even be maybe some old Anakin garb from when he was a kid that Shmi brought over. But I do like how they had Luke kind of shadow playing. Is he in a pod racer? Is it a speeder? Either way, there was some clear intentions to kind of draw or just mirror his father here. So love that they introduced Luke this early in a teaser. And yeah, the other twin should be in this series at some point, but it looks like they're keeping her involvement out of the trailers for now. All right, so this is just a continuation of Obi-Wan looking upon his ward in Luke Skywalker. You gotta love the look, man. I think Ewan looks fantastic here. Just the natural aging from his prequel Obi-Wan to this 10-year older Obi-Wan is ideal. And I don't know if there's hints of Alec in there yet, but I think we are definitely getting close. All right, so then we get into some shots of the bad guys, or the supposed bad guys for Kenobi series, because we all know that by episode 3, some guy named Darth Vader is going to become the big bad, but for now, we got to look at some of the Inquisitors. And what we're seeing here is Fortress Inquisitorius, which was first featured in Jedi Fallen Order, and it's rad that it has made it into live action. So it looks like the Inquisitors will be traveling to this fortress, spending some time in there, in between shaking down regular people and hunting for Jedi. All right, so while we're seeing these things, we get some quotes from the Grand Inquisitor, played by Rupert Friend here. This is the first time we get to see him in the makeup, and yes, there are asshole Star Wars fans already out there bitching and moaning about the look of the Grand Inquisitor, probably because his head isn't narrow enough, Ki-Adi-Mundi-like enough. Who knows? Who cares? I think it looks great. But what the Grand Inquisitor is saying here is that the key to hunting Jedi is patience. Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. The Jedi code is like an itch. It cannot help it. So I'm guessing he's probably delivering this to his fellow Inquisitors and not this gentleman here. This appears to be in that Mos Eisley market where we do, at least from the leaks, have learned that the Inquisitors show up on Tatooine looking for this Jedi named Nari, and then they start shaking down the inhabitants. All right, next scene of the trailer, I believe this is probably Kenobi making his way to the transport to get off-world. Otherwise, he's just on some public train, if you will, on Tatooine. I don't know, maybe he's got himself mixed up in a job, and this is just part of his routine. But this could very well be taking him to the spaceport so he can get off-world and perform that mission that leaks have described that will come from Bail Organa. All right, so here I want to do a little in-depth analysis here. I do believe this is taking place on Fortress Inquisitorius, underwater at that. This seems to be kind of their meeting room. But what I want to know is, who is this Inquisitor on the far left? We know the back we're seeing, that's the fifth brother. We know Moses' character is Reva, aka the third sister. But I'm not sure who this one is with like those squid tails coming out of her headpiece. Is it the first sister? I don't know. If you look at this screenshot here, which lists kind of the known Inquisitors, there aren't many left. So it's either the first sister, or potentially if the Inquisitors go beyond 10, 11, 12, 13. Because it's not the 9th, it's not the 7th, it's not the 2nd, it's not the 3rd, it's not the 4th. So I'm not sure, but she intrigues me, definitely an Inquisitor. But here they are in the meeting room with Reva, who is played by Moses Ingram, who seems to be a kind of one of the main Inquisitors directly under the Grand Inquisitor. All right, so this is probably a continuation of the Inquisitors shaking down the inhabitants of Mos Eisley. This could very well be the leaked moment we discussed this week on the show, where this Jedi Nare was eventually captured by the Inquisitors, tortured, mutilated, and then put on display as kind of like a warning sign to other Jedi with the intent of, hey, Kenobi, we have a feeling you're here, and we just want you to see this. Otherwise, it's just going to be some poor citizen of Mos Eisley that they messed up and kind of made an example of. Here's our man here, just sitting here thinking about life, all bummed out. Not sure if this is after his meeting with Owen, or if this is just in his regular solitude and he's feeling sorry for himself. But yeah, this guy is not going to be in the best of spirits in this show, especially during the opening. And like I said, Reva, I wish we could get a clear pronunciation here. She is seen here interrogating the Mos Eisley citizens again. Okay, so this is more fleshing out of some of the leaks we've talked about. You can see Owen kind of in the blur back there, and from the stills in the EW article that also released today, you can see that she directly interrogates Owen, which is surely going to lead him to questioning Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's presence on Tatooine is becoming a very, very dangerous thing, especially for Luke, when people like Reva start showing up. And there he is right there, Joel Edgerton, looking great. You can already see the concern on his face witnessing this kind of brutality taking place. And this is going to lead to him essentially telling Obi-Wan, you got to stay away from Luke, no presence, no nothing. You're doing more harm than good, which is going to allow Kenobi to leave planet. And where's he going? Well, he will be going here to Daiyu, which is a new planet that was introduced today. From the leaks, this is the planet I believe that Making Star Wars was calling Space Reno. It's been officially described as a Hong Kong-like city. But I think she's here hunting down Kenobi, who we know from leaks and rumors is potentially on this planet looking to rescue a young Princess Leia from some captors that may or may not have been coaxed by the Inquisitors to try and get Kenobi to come out of hiding. Like I said, more shots of her seemingly hunting Kenobi on Daiyu. Here's just a shot of the Inquisitor ship probably landing on Tatooine right in the middle of Mos Eisley to begin those shakedown scenes we have already checked out. It is not the same ship that Erdina Varma's character walks out of. But here she is, definitely confirmed as an Imperial officer, as was noted last summer in some leaked shots from the set. Alright, so there's that other Inquisitor again. You know, what number is she? She definitely has squid tails coming out, not Twi'lek tails, but more like squid-like. So is she the first sister? I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to kind of keep tabs on all these and the various properties they've been in, but so far, she is an unnamed Inquisitor to the best of my knowledge. So, probably looking around for Kenobi after people probably learned he was there, maybe caused some problems in that spice den, trying to get Princess Leia. It seems he's doing his best to stay hidden, although I would recommend, hey Ben, you might not want to wear a robe that looks very similar to your Jedi robe and pull the hood over your head, because you look like an Obi-Wan Kenobi to me. All right, so hear me out on this one here. I found it odd that they, in this teaser, they kind of paid special attention to this robot. And I'm going to go out on a limb and speculate that this could very well be Kumail Nanjiani's character. Yeah, he may be playing a robot. We may have speculated that before. We've learned from leaks from Making Star Wars that this character is a contact of Bail Organa and Obi-Wan, and this is who Obi-Wan comes to talk to on seemingly now Daiyu to get intel on where Princess Leia may be held. But it's never been confirmed if Kumail is playing a human character, an alien character, or a droid. So I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is going to be Kumail Nanjiani's droid character. In the subsequent scene, I can't tell if this is the trooper or the droid, but it looks like they're pulling out some sort of weapon. It looks like a trooper butt cheeks right there, but it doesn't look like a trooper hand. That looks a little more robotic, which is why I was thinking it might be that droid I am predicting is going to be Kumail Nanjiani's character. Alright, so there's more of the Grand Inquisitor, and we did get confirmation that they're going to have their circular blades out there to antagonize people. I believe this has taken place on Daiyu again, shaking down people now that they know. Seemingly, they're probably going to find out that Kenobi's here, their plan worked. Now they're trying to trap him down and hunt him down by shaking down these galactic civilians. Here we get a great shot of Sun Kang's fifth brother. Looks fantastic, very spot on to the animated version. And again, on this Daiyu planet in search of Kenobi. So it seems that their plan to draw him out has worked. Now they just got to find him and capture him. But probably not going to happen, as we've learned through the leaks that eventually by episode 3 is when Vader is really going to get interested in these affairs and kind of take over the hunt for Kenobi from the Inquisitors. All right, these seem to be escape pods, and I'm just going to go and say that this could potentially be Obi-Wan and Leia, after he's saved there, kind of making their final escape from Daiyu, maybe to get picked up on another planet or by another ship. Who knows? That's just kind of what I'm going with there. But they do look like those little escape pods, or like that tiny ship that Yoda used on Kashyyyk to get off and get himself free. This is just more of Reva Reva antagonizing some Mos Eisley citizens. That may be Owen. I can't tell from the back, but the hair looks a little too shaggy, but it very well could be Owen. Either way, it's clear now that the leaks are true from MSW. Owen's going to be witnessing all this. It's going to make him feel very uneasy about Kenobi being on planet, and he's essentially going to say, you need to get the hell out of here or you're going to get Luke killed from these crazy people. This one I'm struggling on. I'm thinking this may be Reva Reva walking down a corridor, getting ready to face off with someone, but I can't really tell if those symbols have any meaning of value. But here, like I said, this could very well be that corridor she's walking down. But I'm going with here, the dude with the gun is Kenobi himself. Probably still trying to pretend that he's not a Jedi, which is why his lightsaber's not out. But I'd imagine if she does kind of challenge him here and identifies him as Kenobi, hopefully he'll pull it out and cut her down. I do have a feeling that Reva Reva is going to be taken out within the first 2 episodes. Because the other Inquisitors, at least Fifth Brother, we know needs to make it into the Star Wars Rebels timeline. But I'm thinking Third Sister is expendable and probably will be at the hands of Kenobi. All right, and then we kind of end with this rooftop battle on Daiyu, and it looks like Kenobi is like he doesn't want to. Remember, he thinks these things are uncivilized, but he's using a blaster, fighting whoever is chasing him down. You got some cool stuff blowing up and all that fun stuff. And then I think I screwed up. The screens were a little out of order, but the trailer does end on Obi just kind of pondering life. Like I said, is this early on? Is this at the end? Because it comes after a title screen of hope. So maybe this is at the end of all this, and he's looking down at Anakin's lightsaber, thinking about what the future may hold. All right, my friends, there you go. There's the breakdown of the first Kenobi teaser with some ties to the leaks to kind of pay off on them or further flesh out what you were seeing. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, like this video, and leave a comment if you wouldn't mind. If you dig the Star Wars Time Show or Star Wars podcasts that are a little kind of off the wall, make sure to sub to our channel for our weekly live streams, which go down on Tuesday afternoons, which also gets put on podcast platforms on the following Wednesday, which you can subscribe to as well by using the description of this video. All right, there's always time for Star Wars time, my friends. And remember, if you listen to the Star Wars Time Show, the Force will be with you. Always.